Regardless of their faith or belief, a question lingers in the back of the minds of many. What will the revelation described in the Bible look like, as it will be witnessed by our own eyes, as it was revealed to the Apostle John in a terrifying vision of the end times? Today, in the Beyond of the Bible, we delve into this ancient enigma, exploring the signs, events, and consequences of this biblical cataclysm that many believe is inevitable. Before we begin, it is important to remember that Revelation has multiple interpretations. Each line of the Bible can be read in different ways, depending on the belief and perspective of the person studying it. In this video, we base our analysis on the book of Revelation in the New Testament. But with a unique twist, we will explore not only the events, but what they may mean for us in today's world. Let's discover together what awaits us at the end of time, according to biblical prophecies. Imagine an ordinary night. You're at home relaxing, perhaps watching TV, when suddenly urgent news comes up. Thousands of people have mysteriously disappeared around the world. I don't know how, but all that was left were his clothes. Panicked mothers running through the streets, screaming for their children, who disappeared without a trace. Planes fall from the skies with no pilots to control. Cars crash en masse, their drivers simply disappear. Hospitals in chaos, with no doctors or nurses to treat the wounded. This is the initial scenario of the apocalypse, the first sign that the end times have arrived. The Rapture, as it is called, will be a sudden and devastating event. Thousands, maybe millions, will disappear in the blink of an eye. Security cameras will capture the exact moment people disappear into thin air, leaving behind only their clothes and belongings. The chaos will be instantaneous and overwhelming, an abrupt disruption in world order that will open the door to the true horror to come. While the world is still trying to recover from the rapture, the earth will begin to roar. Uncontrollable forest fires, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes of unimaginable magnitude, tsunamis that sweep entire cities. Nature, once controlled and predictable, will become a ruthless force of destruction, as if the mysterious disappearance of so many people wasn't enough. Now the planet itself turns against its inhabitants, and with these natural disasters comes economic collapse. Businesses close their doors, unable to function. With so many of its employees missing or dead, global production plummets. Financial markets are collapsing. Governments struggle to maintain order, but fail miserably. The world, already on the brink of chaos, plunges into a new era of uncertainty and terror. As the situation deteriorates, nations begin to turn against each other. Once abundant resources become scarce. Areas that still have drinking water, food, and fuel become targets of greed and war. Old alliances are broken, replaced by a new order of selfishness and survival of the fittest. Great world powers engage in conflicts to ensure their survival, using all means at their disposal, including nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons. Smaller countries, rich in natural resources, are invaded and dominated, their inhabitants subjugated or exterminated. War becomes a constant, a desperate struggle for survival in a rapidly disintegrating world. And while nations fight among themselves, nature continues to destroy what remains of civilization. Natural disasters intensify, as if the earth is trying to rid itself of its inhabitants. Forests burn, cities are swallowed up by the sea, and deserts expand, swallowing fertile land. Famine spreads, killing millions. Those who survive are forced to flee, becoming refugees in a world where there is no refuge. It is against this backdrop of destruction and despair that emerges the Antichrist, a charismatic leader capable of uniting nations under his banner, promising peace and security in a chaotic world. Your rise will be rapid, propelled by your incredible talent for diplomacy and your ability to manipulate the masses. He will bring a promise of salvation, a new era of prosperity, but this will only be a facade for their true intentions. According to the prophecies, the Antichrist will be a master of deception. He will possess a human wisdom capable of solving the world's most intractable problems. your personality will be irresistible. His captivating presence ensures he will be revered as a savior, yet will drive humanity to its final doom. The Antichrist's regime will create a global government, uniting all people and nations under his rule. This regime will dominate the world's economy, determining who may trade. Any resistance will be obliterated, and those who defy him will endure merciless persecution. Freedom of expression will disappear, replaced by censorship and oppression. Those who still keep their faith will be hunted down and exterminated. Under the rule of the Antichrist, the new world order will be established: one government, one currency, one religion. Everything will be standardized, controlled, monitored. Diversity of beliefs and cultures will be eradicated, replaced by a uniform and ruthless ideology. This new regime will have no room for freedom or individuality. Those who oppose will be brutally and definitively silenced. And as the Antichrist strengthens his power, the world continues to crumble. Famine spreads, diseases decimate entire populations, and wars never come. Death. The last of the horsemen of the apocalypse rides free, reaping lives in every corner of the planet. The world population will decrease dramatically. With less than half of humans remaining, a vicious circle of death and destruction sets in. With fewer people to keep society functioning, the chaos only increases, but the prophecies don't end here. After 7 years of torment of the Antichrist's absolute rule, a new battle approaches, an epic battle, the last between good and evil, Satan, after being released from his prison. It will gather all nations under the command of the Antichrist to face Jesus Christ and his heavenly army in the Valley of Armageddon. The armies of the world, now weakened and desperate, will unite in one last effort to defeat the common enemy, but this time their enemy is the Son of God himself. But in the end, the power of evil will be destroyed forever. The Antichrist and his followers will be cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where they will be tormented for all eternity. The reign of terror will end, and a new heaven and a new earth will rise from the ashes of the old world, a place where pain, sorrow, and death will no longer exist, and where God will dwell among the survivors, bringing eternal peace and happiness. Thus ends Revelation chapter 21, with the promise of a new beginning for those who survive the tribulation. But are we ready to face that future? Will we ever be up to what's coming? History has not yet been written, but the prophecies leave us a warning. The end times will be a test for all humanity. I leave you one last thought: if the biblical apocalypse is already terrifying, what about the 200 fallen angels imprisoned in Antarctica since ancient times? In the next video, we'll explore this dark and little-known story. Don't miss out, because what's coming may be even scarier than you imagine. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.